What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. Alright, yeah, I know, elephant in the room, this is a very long time coming. This is, I don't even know how long it's been, oh my god. This last time I covered this scenario was like, probably 2 years ago maybe? I don't even know, I didn't even check before this video. This was, November 16th, 2020, oh my god. Well, if you haven't seen the last few parts, I made a playlist, so you should check them out because I forgot myself too, and I had to actually go back and look at the story, so maybe you'll need to as well. But if not, here's the finale today. We're going to be streamlining a bit because I did want to end this story and I didn't want to just leave it off on a cliffhanger, but I feel like we can compress everything to one part and make it work. So without further ado, let's pick up where we left off and finally finish the story after so long. So last time we left off, Trunks, Bulma, Mai, and Tarble headed into the past, at least the future versions of them. They explained their whole backstory, and now they need to stop Goku Black. Oh yeah, and since they actually know about Zamasu, they need to stop him too. Alright, that's good, they at least know that maybe in this timeline they gotta watch out for Zamasu here, whoever that is. Well, Beerus and Whis know, so they get on that right away. Heading over to Universe 10, very angry. His plan is already revealed, so maybe they could stop it before it even happens. Maybe he doesn't even need to die, they could just stop it. Alright, but what about that Goku imposter? There's another Goku running around? Yeah, Goku Black. And he eventually appears not too long after, showing up in the past, blowing up the time machine just because it's a funny prank, and glad to see that everyone's here. Good, he tracked them down. Now he can finally dispose of them, although he does encounter Goku and fights him, which goes pretty much the same way it did normally, with him heading back into the future, and now everyone's pretty much out of luck. They don't know what to do and they need to fix this time machine, but at least this means Trunks, Bulma, Mai, and Tarble could stay here for a bit, catching up with everyone and learning what's happening in this timeline. The fact that there's a future Tarble here too is pretty cool. Like Trunks and Bulma, that was obvious. Mai, a little weird, but I mean they can kinda get it. Tarble, it's good to see that he and Trunks cross paths, and Tarble's glad to see his past self too, although he is a little disappointed. The two of them are still the same height. Future version of himself is not taller at all. Kinda sucks. He's stuck at this height forever, isn't he? Anyways, at some point, the time machine is fixed, and they all go back to the future, except Bulma and Mai stay back because they're just gonna be in danger, and they kinda need to make space for Goku and Vegeta to get on there, as well as Tarble, so there's gonna be 5 people squished into that one time machine, but it's okay. The good thing is they also still know about Zamasu. They don't know that he's immortal, but they know about him, so they know there's more than just Goku Black. Although, when they do get back, they realize that this isn't going to be as easy as they thought. Goku Black ends up showing off Super Saiyan Rose. Okay, this might be a bit tough, but there still is one trump card that they have. You're probably thinking, they forgot someone in the past, didn't they? No, they didn't. Cell ends up showing up. He doesn't need a time machine. He has part Kai after all. I mean, if you went back and watched the past few parts, which I hope you did because you'd probably be pretty lost otherwise wondering why Cell's here, you'll remember that he does have those Kais within him, so he's able to actually use a time ring, and this is how he's traveling through time. It's better for him too, and much more convenient. He joins the group a bit later on, and with his help, maybe they'll be okay. Plus, at some point, Shin and Gowasu are going to pop up as well. But with all these people here, especially with Cell's power now, they might actually be able to hold off Goku Black. Although, Cell wishes he was there earlier when Goku Black first showed up. This guy is strong, and they could have prevented him from getting this strong. And by now, Zamasu's already revealed himself, asking who Cell is, and Cell just simply explains, he's an artificial being, a mortal, and a god, all in one. Zamasu is angered by this proclamation. This robot thinks he's a god? He's artificially created, he shouldn't even exist. But also, how did he get here in the first place? And Cell simply lifts up his hand, showing off the time ring. He's part Kai and has the 2 within him. He would have never expected a Kai to turn evil though, so this fight should be fun. This only infuriates Zamasu even more. And once they actually figure out that Zamasu is immortal, they realize they probably should seal him away. I mean, Cell could do that pretty easily. And then after that, they just gotta focus on Goku Black and kill him. That'll be no problem at all. But right before Cell's about to do this, Zamasu then does something drastic. Without even consulting Goku Black, he takes the earring he has on and puts it on his other ear, then fusing with Goku Black unexpectedly. Oh great, now the 2 of them are combined, and a lot stronger than before. And even with help from someone like Cell, yeah, their power's not going to be enough to contend with this guy. He might even still be immortal, even if he's like half immortal or something, that's still insane. What are they supposed to do against him? I mean, Cell could probably try and seal him away, but he's going to need an opening, and that's really hard given the strength of this guy. He's not letting them get an opening. But Tarble, or at least the present Tarble, he gets a great idea. He knows exactly what to do against this guy. Alright, if those 2 fuse, maybe they can as well. What? Fuse? How are they supposed to do that? Well, those earrings that he had. Look over there. Shin and Gowasu are here. They have those same earrings. Just take them from those guys and fuse. But who's going to fuse with who? Well, Gowasu warns them. First of all, the fusion's not going to be permanent. Okay, that's a good thing. Well, yeah, maybe it is because that means they're not going to be stuck together forever, but if they use too much power, it's going to shorten the time of the fusion is what he means. So they need someone that's going to work quickly. And sure, they could make an ultra strong fusion like getting Cell and Goku to fuse together. But that would be too risky. What if he uses too much power before they're able to seal away Zamasu? So because of a scenario like that, they think that it's best to keep Cell separate because otherwise, they're going to be wasting their one opportunity and one trump card to actually give Cell an opening to seal away Zamasu. Well, Goku and Vegeta could fuse, but Tarble actually has a pretty good idea. If they just need a distraction, they need a fusion that's strong, but they don't really need to go overkill with it. And let's be honest, if Goku and Vegeta fused here, they might go overkill and just end the fusion even earlier on. They need someone with power, but a little bit more modest power. A fusion of people that'll work well together. Tarble gives one of the earrings to Vegeta, and then he takes one for himself. He asks Vegeta to fuse with him, and Vegeta's actually unsure of it at first, but he realized that this might actually be the best option. It might not be the strongest option, but it definitely is very powerful if the two of them fuse. They don't know what to expect, but they know that together, they'll work pretty well. And Gowasu even theorizes, two brothers fusing together, that could create a really strong fusion. The two of them are not just getting a boost from being rivals, but also from being brothers. It might be the most perfect fusion they could think of besides someone like Zamasu fusing with himself. Goku and Cell go to hold off Zamasu as the two brothers place their earrings on, and mid-fight, a new fighter appears. A fusion of Vegeta and Tarble. Alright, what's his name gonna be? He actually didn't consider this. Targeta? That sounds kinda gross. And everything else, it sounds like vegetable, because I mean, Vegeta, Tarble, vegetable, that's the whole point of their names, so would his name just be Vegetable? Vitarba? You know what, just for fun, we'll call him Vegetable. Spelled Vegtable. Veg-Tarble. It keeps the vegetable pun, but it's also not just the word vegetable. And this fusion is pretty powerful, utilizing the power of both Super Saiyan 4, creating something completely different, brand new, an incredibly strong form. Zamasu's amazed, the power of these two brothers combined. And with this power not being so high, especially with how well they're maintaining each of their individual forms, this makes the fusion a lot more stable, lasting a lot longer, but also still having the power behind it to pack a punch. And Zamasu begins taking damage that he can't regenerate from. But remember, they're not here to kill Zamasu, they don't even know if that's possible, because he is half immortal. They're just trying to create an opening. Cell is nearby, charging as much power as possible. Well, apparently the guys within him have a technique to seal people, so he might as well try it out, and especially with his great power, this technique will definitely be way more potent and probably will be enough to seal Zamasu. He just needs to buy some time. As the two fusions duel, Cell is eventually charged up, and he signals to the fusion, who charges his ultimate attack, just to distract Zamasu even more and weaken him further. Well, it's kinda strange. The two of them can't make a unique technique because both of them share a lot of techniques. But how about they go with their most iconic attack? The fusion takes on the pose of a Gallic gun, charging up the strongest Gallic gun ever in existence. This is the power of their brotherhood. They launch the attack at Zamasu, and it actually does incinerate half of him. Of course he starts regenerating it, but it keeps him in place. It keeps him stunned for a bit, allowing Cell to have his opening, finally sealing Zamasu away. Crap, he completely forgot that android. He didn't know that android was capable of this. He looks over at him. Cell is smirking as he's performing the technique. And Zamasu also looks back at the fusion, expelling all of his power, and then eventually defusing into Vegeta and Tarble, who look on triumphant as Fusion Zamasu is sealed away by Cell. Cell is tired out from this, but it worked. He used up all of his power for this technique, but he's surprised that he was actually able to pull it off. He didn't really expect that. It was kind of on a whim and he didn't know it was going to work. So he placed a bet on something that he didn't know he could do. Yeah, he did. Well, Gowasu and Shin are kind of pissed that he did that because that could have destroyed them all if it didn't work, but hey, it worked, so they can't really be pissed off. And Vegeta and Tarble got to fuse. Future Tarble watched on too. Damn, that's cool. He wishes his Vegeta was around to do that, but he's glad he at least got to see this Vegeta. And most importantly, this timeline is safe now. And hey, even though he doesn't have Vegeta, he has Trunks, his nephew, who does share a lot of similarities. It's weird to think that things went so differently in that past timeline between him and his brother. But now it's time for everyone to go their separate ways again. With the future timeline safe, all the warriors from the present return home. And now, we could head on to the Tournament of Power. Again, I'm going to kind of breeze through this, just like I was doing with the last arc. So first, some setup. As for Tarble, he's going to continue working with Super Saiyan 4, trying to surpass his brother. Remember, the two of them are great rivals after all. They're going to continue wanting to surpass each other in terms of strength. They want to get as strong as possible. And Tarble does eventually start working on Super Saiyan God forms as well. Maybe at some point in time he can combine them with Super Saiyan 4, but for now, he's got to practice with the Godly Ki first before he tries to combine the two at all. But just imagine how cool that would be. Godly Ki and Super Saiyan 4. That would be pretty awesome. And as they continue training, eventually they have a perfect opportunity to show off their strength. The Tournament of Power. The team this time is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be Goku, Vegeta, Tarble, Gohan, Piccolo, Krillin, Cell, Goten, Trunks, and Tenshinhan. Some of the people stayed the same, but there's also a lot of differences here, such as Goten and Trunks being on the team, and obviously Tarble and Cell being there. So I'm pretty sure all of you are wondering, who's the strongest out of these people so far? The answer should be pretty obvious. It's Cell. Consider all the insane potential he has and everything he's done in the series so far, and the fact that he's continuously been training and such. He definitely would be the strongest of the group. It's kind of unfair, and he recognizes that it's unfair, but hey, they don't mind that it's unfair because they have an incredibly strong rival with them, which is nice. As we head into the tournament power, the team is pretty confident. They are strong after all. And as we've seen in the main story, the tournament power didn't really have too many formidable foes. There were some, but not really that many. And with how strong everyone is in the scenario, they'll be able to handle it pretty well. They'll be fine. But what's the big fight gonna be? Goku probably will want to fight Jiren, but they know the better option to fight Jiren. It's Cell. Strongest on their team, contending with the strongest in Universe 11, and possibly the strongest in the multiverse. Will it work? Well, Cell decides to try this out. You gotta remember how crazy overpowered Cell is in terms of potential. Especially in this scenario and with all the great experience he's had so far, he's actually gonna be able to help hold off Jiren for everyone. The rest of them do want to fight Jiren, but they're going to focus on their own fights. Vegeta and Tarble take on the rest of Universe 11 alone. And not just the Pride Troopers that, let's be honest, no one cares about, but also Toppo and Dispo, the really strong ones. The brothers together actually think that they can take on the entire force of the Pride Troopers besides Jiren. The Pride Troopers aren't sure if they're just being cocky or not, but Vegeta and Tarble decide to prove them wrong. The rest of Universe 7 focuses on everyone else, each picking their own fights and doing pretty well in the tournament actually. And Cell, he realizes that maybe he might not be strong enough to fight Jiren. He's definitely really powerful, and he probably would be close to Jiren's power, but as Jiren begins to show off more and more strength, Cell realizes that he's going to need a little bit more than what he has right now. So, he can also try and outsmart Jiren too. Besides just Cell's raw strength, he also has a ton of crazy techniques here, all the magic that he has from the Kais and Babidi, but also, he has Hit's time abilities, the ones that he got before from the Universe 6 tournament. He recognizes strength isn't going to be the only thing that helps him here, abilities will as well. And Hit actually watches on as Cell shows off his own technique, utilizing it better than he did. Hit can't believe what he's seeing, but he's actually interested. How is this going to work out? Cell is able to freeze Jiren, not just in time, but also paralyzing him using his Kai magic. Then he does something really strange. He creates a single Cell Jr. The Cell Jr. then spawns a block of Kachin, forming it into a container of sorts. Jiren just looks on confused, trying to break out of the time loop. And he is making progress, but before he can, Cell then takes advantage of the paralysis, using it to seal Jiren away in that Kachin container. It took up all of his energy to do this, but it was worth it, and that Cell Jr. helps him, closing the container off and then flinging it off stage, and just like that, Jiren is knocked out of the ring, essentially guaranteeing victory for Universe 7 because now, the strongest of the fighters are eliminated. Oh yeah, Vegeta and Tarble were able to take on the Pride Troopers together, proving their strength in the fact that they weren't actually just being cocky. This was something they were confident in, and something that they knew would happen. And Universe 7 takes the win. So, we've breezed through the Zamasu arc and also the Tournament of Power. I could go into Moro and such, but like I said, I did want to streamline this ending. But from this part, we could definitely see a lot of changes so far. Cell is becoming more connected with the group at least, which is nice. And more importantly, two very prominent rivalries begin showing. Goku and Cell become closer as rivals. The two of them work well off each other. And as for Vegeta, his main rival is still Tarble. The two are aiming to get stronger and stronger, trying to surpass each other. Tarble always felt that he's been lagging behind his brother, and he's so glad now. Vegeta's acknowledging him more as a warrior, and the two of them are getting stronger together. As they continue training even further, Tarble's really beginning to show off how far his determination goes. He never gave up all this time, and Vegeta admires it. He always knew his brother had it in him, he just needed to draw it out somehow, and over the course of all these years they've spent together, especially on Earth and all, he's glad to say that Tarble is developing into a fine warrior. I mean, it is a reflection on him after all, as the brother, the one raising Tarble too. It's so weird how much their lives have changed. Now they're on Earth, fighting against literal gods, using the power of literal gods. And still, the two brothers are together after all this. It's nice, and it's nice that their rivalry is flourishing. And with that, we end off this scenario here. So, what did you guys think about this part? I might do it for more scenarios like the ones that are on hiatus. I might like to streamline it to make a finale so it's quick, but also ends the series. It's a nice win-win without dragging out the series, but also still gets it an ending. So, let me know what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like. It really helps with the channel, and lets me know that you guys want to see more videos like this. If you haven't already, why not subscribe? As well as hitting the bell icon to be notified about any future uploads on my channel, including more videos like this one. Anyways, thank you all for watching, thanks for supporting the scenario all the way through, and hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did covering it. I'll see you all in my next video.